Thank you for clicking in today at goetbtigers.com to listen to ETB Extra, broadcast live each Wednesday beginning at noon from the first floor of the Ornella Student Center in the Huffman Student Activities area. As the students are eating lunch and visiting and also studying, we do the show and talk Tiger sports. Now to talk Tiger soccer, the head coach of the Tigers, Paul Grant. And Paul, must confess, I had my first opportunity to go see your Tiger soccer team play last week against Belhaven. And what interested me was about is that the Belhaven coach is from Ireland, and that was different to hear him talk to his team.
Yeah, they coming in and out of the NAI world, they were definitely and have been in the past, a lot of different languages, dialects and stuff through that program, and actually been very successful. But yes, his two assistants definitely have that foreign twang, I guess, as we would say here in Texas. So
much different than that East Texas twang that Paul and I have.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And they were complaining about the heat. And we're like going, what heat?
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, when I was at Tyler Junior College and then again having the internationals players come in August, I mean, it was brutal for them. And it was a two-week period for them to adjust. And, that game Friday, it was 95 degrees. And we talked to our guys at halftime, said, look, they're not used to this. I mean, number one, and it's the middle of October, it's been cool, and all of a sudden it gets hot again. So it was definitely a factor and a variable for them to have to deal with.
Unfortunately, Belhaven got the win 1-0 in that game. Their goal came in the second half. But, hey, Juan Perales, your goalkeeper, he had a few saves in that ball game.
No, he did. And, and for a guy that you're not your typical prototype size goalkeeper, and we joke, hey, he's 4'2", and he's not really that short, but he definitely at times plays like he's 6'5". So, as they say, size isn't everything, and it's what you do with what you have, and he definitely does well.
Well, you lost to Belhaven on Friday, but you come back Saturday afternoon at Cornish Soccer Field and defeat Louisiana College 2-1, American Southwest Conference game, and moved your conference record to 2-2. Had 2 goals in the second half by the Tigers. Talk about that match against Louisiana College.
Yeah, it was a game where that they sat behind the ball, and what I mean by that, defensively, they did not start defending us until we got to their half of the field and probably 15, sometimes 20 yards into our attacking half of the field. So it was the first time we'd seen that all season. They got one shot and scored 1 goal, and we had a miscommunication between one of our backs and our keeper, tangled up, and we literally just left the ball out there for them, and they go up 1-0 early. But it was a game, I mean, and again, soccer's definitely funny on box scores, but I think we outshot them 32-2, and until the latter part of the game, we were losing. Typically in the other sport,
you get that many opportunities,
you're going to be winning. I mean, that's not, but that's kind of the beauty of soccer, and sometimes that's why they say the sport's built for the underdog.
Yeah. Well, Coach, now that with the last weekend's games, you move on to this weekend. Got a match Thursday against Texas Dallas, and they're 13th ranked in the nation. You have the match against 7 p.m. Thursday night. It's a tough opponent coming up Thursday night.
Yeah, they are, and we played them earlier this season, and obviously didn't get a favorable result. But the beauty is we get to play them again. We have an understanding. We've seen it. Obviously, they've gotten better, but we definitely have gotten better. And it's always a good matchup. But, playing at UTD, we've got a handful of players that have family and friends. We've got former players from the area. I mean, to be honest, we're going to have a pretty good crowd, even though we're away. And again, UTD, that venue really it sorts itself out for a very good atmosphere. Definitely at night, obviously.
Play UT Dallas Thursday. Now, do you stay on the bus and go on travel on to Brownwood, because you got a match against Brownwood on Saturday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
1 hour after the Tigers kick off playing American football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Is this a road trip?
Yeah, it is. It is a road trip. We'll get up, do some things in the morning. Kind of a regen type session. Get on the bus, head to Brownwood. We'll actually train that afternoon or late afternoon in Cisco. I've got a good friend who's the soccer coach there at Cisco, so we'll encroach on his facility and get some things sorted out and get ready for the game the next day.
Coach, of course, you got a battle with your team because in the American Southwest Conference, the top 6 seeds make the ASC tournament. As I looked at the standings today, you're in the hunt, and victories are very crucial right now.
They are. Over the last couple of years, things have I say balanced out, but anybody can beat anybody on the men's side. There's not much difference. And, again, if you go look at scores and you hear scouting reports, I mean, again, like a Louisiana College team that we played last Saturday, then the style they played against us versus, you'll play a Thursday matchup against UTD and then actually Howard Payne who play very similar. Anything can go either way. And the wins are important. I mean, over the last 2 years, the route is one game is a game is a difference between 4th place and 7th place. And obviously we're based on the point system, not winning percentage. So one game is big. A game in not getting a result, which, we were obviously bounced our way early on as far as the conference season started. Makes a difference. It really does.
Now, how much of a distraction is trying to figure out as you get toward the end of the season whether you're in or not? Because I know it gets pretty hairy, and how do you give it to another coach and say, figure it out for me, or do you sit down and go, I got to figure this out?
No, and the reality is I really don't worry about it. I don't look at it a lot. We are in a position now where some of the teams that are in front of us, we play.
Mm-hmm. And if you win, that's positive.
Exactly. I mean, so I don't get caught up in that because if we don't have results we need, it doesn't matter. If we get results that we need, and again on the men's side right now, we play 3 or 4 teams in front of us. You get wins, you get results, things will sort themselves out. I mean, ultimately you have to win games. You can't tie or and I say that. I mean, maybe there's a game you can play if you need a tie or whatever to get in, but right now, no, it's early. I mean, we're just, after this weekend, be over the halfway mark. And after this weekend, there'll be, regardless of what we do and what others do, it could still be really no difference in the standings, truth be told, at this point in time.
So the good news for the Tiger Soccer is you control your own destiny to make the conference tournament.
Oh, yeah, we do.
That's good. That's good. Well, let's change your soccer hat and move over and talk about the Lady Tiger soccer team, which you're also the head coach. But before I do that, I want you once again to talk about the 2 assistants that you have helping you because you can't do it all.
No, I can't. And a lot of times those, Chad and Chris are kind of like the, and no disrespect to when I make this comment to the American football world, but they're kind of like the offensive linemen. They do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. They do a lot of the grunt work, and their reason a lot of things get done and get done, not even only get done, but get done and run smoothly. And it was not a bit of a struggle, but a bit of a struggle from they were brand new, and there was no transition between the other staff to this staff. So we all had to start over from scratch. But they've done a good job. And in all fairness, I did early on in the season said, let me apologize to you now because there will be a point in time where, I may get upset and it may be something so simple that I think or should know, and the reality is hey, we're all guilty of knowing what we don't know. So let me throw out some apologies ahead of time, and when I catch up to them, we'll definitely go from there. But no, they're doing a great job, and hey, as I sit here, there are a lot of things they're getting done just for this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's with Paul Grant, head Tiger soccer coach. We got through talking Tigers men, so now we're talking Lady Tigers. And Coach, you've won your last 2. You won 3 of your last 4. You got to be pleased with the way your ladies are playing right now.
Yeah, even though Belhaven didn't count as far as the conference, even though they're in our conference, it was a good game. It was a game that could have gone either way. It's the first time that we've beaten Belhaven. And it was a good result. I mean, obviously everything you get, you earn. But they did well, and then it was hot for both of us. Both of us, and the coach of Belhaven, he and I we've known each other 15 years, and we both worked together at Tyler Junior College when he came over from Meridian in Mississippi. So It's nice to compete, and I say compete, but I mean you got one of your old buddies down there.
It's nice to beat them too, 3-2.
It was nice that time, the girls played well, and in all fairness, it was the first time I think this season for lack of words, we've put a complete game together. I think all sports, and lull is a word maybe, I don't know what you use in others, but when you go through a period of you're on your heels, you're just not getting things done, and obviously you're going to have lulls, but that Friday if we had one, it wasn't very long, and it was a game where, again, could have gone either way, and the girls definitely deserved to win.
Of course, you won that match against Belhaven 3-2. Had 2 goals from Heather Brady and a goal from Stephanie Castillo. Talk about their play in the ball game.
Yeah, being so young and having new players to the mix, that just takes time. And they're starting to figure each other out. Also that game, to be honest, we moved 2 players around in the back, which is kind of, you kind of roll the dice in doing that. But we moved Amber Pless from a central position she typically plays next to Sasha Okada, outside, and moved Nat Lomax to the inside, and it balanced some things out. So, and then some others, like mentioned Heather Brady. In all fairness, she should currently be a senior, but she's not. She came her freshman year, stepped away from the game for the last couple of years. Glad to have her back. She's starting to find her stride. Stephanie, again, being new to the program and being a freshman, she's starting to figure it out. And then, but again, you have players like a Heather and Stephanie that do what they do. But it's again back to that offensive line comment. There's a lot of others that make sure they do what they do to help them out. So it's nice to see things starting to come together. And we've won 2. When they say if you win 3, that now you're on a winning streak. So we look forward to continue that. Thursday evening in Dallas.
Of course, you won against Belhaven 3-2. Then you had the American Southwest Conference match with Louisiana College, winning that one 2-1. Goals by Nat Lomax and Amber Campbell. Talk about that match last Saturday at Cornish Soccer Field.
Yeah. Again, a box score match that you look on the paper and go, oh wow. We only scored twice, and we 2. Amber Campbell's first goal of the season on a ball that was served in. On a cross, and Nat Lomax scores off a corner kick. The ball was bouncing around inside the 6-yard box, and great for them. Result to score. Obviously, a good feeling for them. We again went back into this lull thing, and I think we've got to understand we can't settle. When it's time when we play teams that we can put away, we need to put them away. But ultimately, it was a win. It was a good win, and I got not to change programs, but like the men who dominated the game against Louisiana College on that Saturday, and we don't score till the last 12 minutes of the game, 1 to tie it, and then within minutes left in the game to go ahead, they found a way to win in a game that they dominated, but they found it late. And just like the women who went up early, we settled and didn't put them away, gave them a chance to get back in the game, and we had to work through some things. So obviously it was great to win, but the way we won in the time of the year, I'm okay with going through those struggles because, hey, that's something that we can definitely add on and say we've experienced now versus later on and not have experienced it before.
Well, your next match is Thursday, just like the men. Travel to Richmond to play Texas Dallas. In the American Southwest Conference women's side, top 8 seeds make it to the conference tournament. And as you go in and play Texas Dallas, you're both 3-2 in conference play, kind of up toward the top of the heap, not the bottom of the heap. This is another crucial match, just like the men. It's time to get some wins going.
No, it is. And again, I really think we're starting to find our stride, our groove, and our connection between players. It'll be a tough match. Definitely a different style that we haven't seen this year. But again, a great environment, a good atmosphere, and it's going to be a good matchup. But it always is with playing Dallas. So looking forward to it again under a second-year coach there at Dallas. So obviously some things has changed there as well. but a tough one, definitely for sure.
Then you got to go Saturday play Howard Payne. Scouting report about the Yellow Jackets as you face them Saturday.
Yeah.
Lady Tigers, I should say.
Yeah, I would say a sleeper team. Again, you look at their records, you look at the results, not too much different. You know, this is a game we should win, yes. Will we win? Yes, we should. But again, it's like I said before, we have to set the tone. We have to make the most of our chances. And when it's time to put a team away, we need to put them away. If we do those things on Saturday and as well as Thursday, I mean, we're coming back here Saturday night with 2 road wins and 2 big road wins.
So you say, well, go. If you get 3 in a row wins, it's a win streak. If you get 4 in a row, it's a big win streak.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Coach, best to you and your Tigers and Lady Tigers soccer team as you travel Thursday to play UT Dallas. On Thursday, then travel to Howard Payne on Saturday. Coach, we'll see you later.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike.
And that's going to wrap up today's edition of ETBU Extra. Thank you for clicking in today on the ETBU Sportsnet. Hey, if you need information about Tiger sports, go ETBTigers.com. Covers every sport we have here on campus at ETBU. One final note. Tiger football on the ETBU Sportsnet kickoff at 2 p.m. from Gordon-Wood Stadium in Brownwood. Pregame begins at 1:40. That's going to wrap it up today from the Ornella Student Center on the campus of ETBU. Thanks to the Sports Information Department here at ETBU, led by Adam Ledyard and his crew of Kenneth and Matthew for making things possible today. Thank you for all the coaches who came by today to visit, as well as players as well. We'll see you next Wednesday live from the campus of ETBU on ETBU Extra. So long, and God bless.